All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this weekly update for myself. My name is Rainey. I'm the proud mayor of the great city of Peekskill. Today is July 28, 2020. It's about 7:30 p.m. Long day, and I'm joined by our great city manager, Andy Stewart. Andy, I want to say thank you again for taking time out of your evening to join me in this weekly update. Highly appreciate it.
No, it's actually really a pleasure. We've been doing it. We must have done this 12 or 15 times by now, and it really does help to just stop and think about, okay, what's going on? What are the things that we need to talk to the community about this week?
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on. I'm gonna try to get straight, short and to the point, but I'll let you start it off this week since I've been taking the lead the last couple of weeks. I'd be happy to let you go first, and then we'll just share.
Well, I'll just mention a couple of things. One on the kind of the prosaic level, but it's really kind of impressive. If people have been looking at the city Facebook page, you'll see a picture of one of our staff members from the DPW watering these beautiful flower baskets that are hanging off the light posts going down Main Street. Right. And it's really nice to see. If people don't realize how much thought goes on to these things, like with the bid and Brian Fassett and Bill Powers and all those folks kind of working on the downtown area. And these baskets, if you look at them carefully, they have a little watering hole on the side. And if you look at the picture of our worker watering them, you'll see he's got this little cart with a tank in the back, and he's watering that. And it's just a cool little project. It brings a lot of beauty to Main Street. And I just wanted to mention that as a it's kind of kudos to the DPW and the Business Improvement District for putting that together and having that stuff out there. It looks really nice.
Absolutely. And since you brought up Main Street, I wanted to bring this up. The 645 Main Street project is one of the city's first in a long time 100% affordable projects that's not specifically catered towards artists and seniors. They're looking to possibly schedule a groundbreaking ceremony, a social distancing groundbreaking ceremony in the near future. We had a great conversation just the day before yesterday with Senator P. Harcum, County Executive George Latimer, Deputy County Executive Ken Jenkins, and Bill Balter. So I'm giving you the heads up too, Andy, because you're probably going to get a phone call.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And people need to know how important this is. It is. Yeah. It's a major affordable housing development, and it connects to the Kiley Community Center in a nice way. The project is actually creating extra parking for the folks at the Housing Authority and the Kiley Community Center. So there's a nice little connection there. Main Street's really going to be looking different, and we're kind of bringing a positive public benefit too in terms of parking there.
Yeah, there's going to be parking on the ground. There's going to be electric car charging stations. There's going to be a green roof, solar panel. They're putting money into the McGregor Brook. There's a lot to be happy about when it comes to this project. It may not have gotten the actual promotion it should have gotten, but I think this groundbreaking ceremony is going to be the groundbreaking ceremony for the city of Peekskill's future. So I'm looking forward to it. But we're looking forward to another 100% affordable project here in the city of Peekskill, right next to our beloved Kiley Youth Center. So I'm really excited about that.
And while we're talking about affordable, and there's, the city council and the community itself is always very concerned about the affordability of housing, especially now because of the coronavirus. In part, there's a lot of pressure on real estate in Peekskill. And if you talk to real estate people, the houses are selling really fast, and it's hard to find a place sometimes. And between the Main Street development and the development down in Lower South Street, which I think is about 230 affordable units.
231, 231.
Which are both really important. And then recently we've had a conversation in the city council about the project on Central Ave, which has an affordable component, and that was mostly market rate. And so this whole question of how to have a good housing mix, I think is a really important question. I know the city council is going to keep talking about that. Actually, our next meeting cycle, we have a sample policy related to affordability being included in any new development. So this is a conversation which is important, and which a lot of people are interested in and involved in, and which the city council is going to be talking about over the next couple meetings.
Absolutely. And I want to bring up this topic because it's very, very important, especially now that we're talking about, new development. We just got notified this today that we went up 0.5% in our census counts. So in 5 days, we went up 0.5%. It's good, but it's nowhere near great. I mean,
we need to keep pushing that number up. That means everybody's got to remind everybody. It's really not hard. You can fill it out online. You can fill it
consistently
out by mail. You can go down
by
to the
phone.
library.
Yeah, like there's so many avenues as you can do your census. And if anybody's watching this video, if you don't know what the census is, don't be ashamed. Don't be embarrassed. A lot of people are unaware of what this actually is and what it actually does. Please don't hesitate to contact my office, Rainey at cityofpeacekill.com, or shoot me an email with your contact information. I'll call you as soon as possible to give you more insight on what this is and how to do it. The county has agreed to give us 400 more census bags. So when we do the food distribution every Friday, not this Friday, but beginning next Friday, again every Friday, when we do the food distributions, we're actually putting the food in census bags instead of putting them in the normal grocery bags that we're given. And these are reusable census bags. So once you use them, you can take them home, take the food out. You can put your laundry in them. You can put your baby food in them. You can put your groceries in them. You know, your your
So
homework, your notebooks
the
in them.
bags are handy, but the
Yeah,
message is the most important thing, which is, in the bottom line is why are we talking about this? Because the census count determines how much money from the federal government flows into the city of Peekskill. Bottom line, this is money
yeah,
for sidewalks, money for water projects, money for parks, money for nonprofit agencies. When someone doesn't get counted, it literally reduces the amount of money flowing into Westchester County and the city of Peekskill.
absolutely.
And so
Every
that's why
person.
you see all of this push on. It also determines representation in Congress. And so if we have an undercount,
Yeah,
we have less influence as far as representation. So it's super
exactly.
important.
Yeah. And the last thing I want to say about that is a friend of mine had came up with a great suggestions, with the high school during this COVID process. They've been putting out lawn signs of the high school graduates to recognize those who are graduating in Peekskill High School. So we reached out to the county for census count lawn signs, and they've agreed to distribute about 70 to the city of Peekskill. So it's not a lot, but it's a good start.
Mm-hmm.
So where they're going to deliver them, they're going to coordinate with our staff, and hopefully within the next week or so, we have lawn signs. And anybody who actually did their census as well is welcome to pick up a lawn sign. And it just says, "You count census 2020." You can hang it up right in front of your lawn as you would do any other lawn sign of something that you're trying to promote. And if people ask you, "What is that for?" you have the opportunity to explain it to them and let them know census counts.
I just had just to change topics for a minute. I wanted to mention that the city, when you think about the city organization, there's a little over 200 employees. And there's probably about 200 people who volunteer their time in different ways. Parks
Mm-hmm.
committee, the land use boards, all these different groups. They have Peekskill residents volunteering their time to help advise the city council.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those is the Industrial Development Agency. And we just added, the city council just appointed Janice Thompson to that. And I just want to mention that and to thank her. Janice is a city resident. She's a professional woman. She brings a lot of skills and background in the business to
Absolutely.
the Industrial Development Agency, which, most people aren't aware of what the IDA does, but it's an important part of the economic development process for the city. It helps to create jobs and helps to create forward motion as far as new projects and new business development. And
Mm-hmm.
having Janice on there is an asset. And while I'm mentioning that, I just want to mention that because there's so many people involved, there's constantly a little bit of turnover, and there's usually a vacancy that needs to be filled. Right now, I think there's a vacancy on the zoning board, but usually there's a vacancy. And if you check the city website, you'll see what roles are needed. And I encourage
Mm-hmm.
people to call my office or call Mayor Rainey. Just check the website. And if you want to help out, you want to get involved with the city, whether it's Parks Committee or the Conservation Advisory Committee or any of the other committees we have, to please, send in a letter and, saying who you are. And the city council makes those appointments.
I'm so thankful that you mentioned that. Yes, and it's important to the people who are out there. There are so many different boards to choose from. The city of Peekskill has between 16 and 18 boards, I believe, that you can get information on. And most of these boards meet about once a month. So it wouldn't require too much of your physical time. And even in these times now, because of COVID, most of these boards are meeting virtually anyway. So if you're interested, it's never too late. It's never too early. Get yourself involved. There are a lot of boards. The Youth Borough Board is doing fantastic. They're always looking for members to join, and they're working towards creating a non-for-profit as well, so they can start raising more funds to make sure that the Youth Borough is continuously successful. So thanks for mentioning that, Andy. Anyone interested, please consider joining. And speaking of volunteering, I just want to say congratulations again. The city of Peekskill just appointed about 7 new volunteer firefighters, which I think everybody in the city should be proud of. The more volunteer firefighters, the safer our community is, and that'll hopefully continue to increase the numbers of people that are actually at fires during the day and during the night. Because I've been notified of a lot of fires in the last couple of weeks, and it seems to be an ongoing thing. There's always a call for safety, and it could be minor things like somebody's toaster was smoking or anything, but you never know. So you just want to know it's safe. It's confirming to know that you have enough people in your community willing to volunteer their time to help save lives. So I thank you to the first responders, our essential workers, and definitely our volunteers.
While we're on that message, and maybe just to wrap up, it's all about fire prevention, folks. Don't be that person who, when the firefighters show up, all your smoke alarms have dead batteries in them. Don't be the person who's creating that emergency, because there's so many important ways through code enforcement, through fire inspection, through smoke alarms, through awareness building. The fire department promotes safety, at all costs. Avoid, and there's a lot of sort of relatively small calls that go out from false alarms and other things, but everyone is treated absolutely seriously. So even if it's just a false alarm, they got to jump in their trucks and they got to come out, because it could be a real fire. The fire department also does, like when there's serious car accidents, they have the gear to, cut a hole in the side of a car and get someone out and work with the emergency medical services to take care of people and so on. So all of these are part of what the fire department does. The volunteers getting involved are really to be credited with their service to community. So we thank them for that.
Absolutely. And last but not least on my end, I definitely want to talk about, the COVID and how we're doing in the city of Peekskill. So I want to remind people to continuously wear their masks and social distance as often as possible. But we've been in discussion with the school district, and they're working to figure out exactly what's going to happen with the school district for the year 2020, 2021. So as we get information, me, myself, and our city manager, Andy, we will certainly share with the community on this platform, as well as encourage people to look at this Peekskill City School District website for all of their updates. To Dr. Mauricio and the entire school board has been doing a phenomenal job of trying to keep in contact with the community. If you're missing it, you're just not looking in the right places. So I would encourage you to check out the Peekskill City School District website. And congratulations to Alan Jenkins, too. He was just appointed as a new school board president over there. So I'm looking forward to working with him and seeing what he's going to bring to the city of Peekskill over the upcoming years. All right, my friend Andy, thanks again. And I just want to end on this note, everybody. City of Peekskill has been doing pretty decent the last couple of weeks as far as COVID numbers. I'm asking you, I'm begging you, and I'm pleading to you to please, please, please wear a mask. We had a young man, Tashumer Draper, about 2 weekends ago. He sat outside in front of the library, gave out about 1,000 masks to the community. If there's anyone who needs masks, do not hesitate to email myself. Contact me at any time, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. While supplies last, I will continue to give out these masks, but please, please, please wear your mask, and please consider social distancing at all times. And last but not least, keep your hands clean and keep sanitizer on you if possible. But other than that, I love you all. God bless you all. Andy, thank you so much, and God bless one of the greatest cities on earth.
Take care now. All right, bye-bye.